Welcome back to Energy Bites, where I talk about all things energy for a happier and healthier life. Today we're diving into a word that gets thrown around a lot but is often completely misunderstood. Karma. You've probably heard that's karma when something goes wrong for someone. But let's get something straight. Karma isn't a punishment. It's not revenge, and it's definitely not the universe trying to get you. It's energy, it's feedback, and it's an opportunity to create something better. So keep watching because I'm going to take you through what karma actually is, how it's been misunderstood, and more importantly, how you can work with it to create a life that truly feels aligned, free, and powerful. Let's get started. Let's clear the air first. Karma is not a punishment system. It's not some cosmic hitman waiting to slap you with bad luck because you cut someone off in traffic. And no, your ex didn't get what they deserved because they stubbed their toe or lost their job. That's not how karma works. The idea that karma is some sort of universal payback system, that's one of the biggest spiritual myths still floating around. So, where did this all come from? The concept of karma comes from ancient spiritual traditions, mainly Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. And in all of them, karma has nothing to do with punishment and everything to do with cause and effect. In Sanskrit, karma literally means action. It's not moral judgment. It's not good or bad in the way we usually think about these words. It's simply the principle that every action, physical, emotional, and mental, sets energy into motion. And that energy, like a boomerang, will eventually come back around. These traditions taught karma not as a way to scare people into being good, but as a tool for awareness. A reminder that you are constantly creating your reality, not by what you believe or hope for, but by the energy behind every thought, intention, word, and choice you make. But over time, especially as the West picked it up and watered it down, karma started being treated like a spiritual version of instant justice. The kind that feels satisfying when someone else messes up, but terrifying when you do. Let's be real, this version of karma is basically fear-based control in a spiritual disguise. And it keeps people in shame, blame, and superstition instead of empowerment. So let's toss that outdated version out of your mind because real karma isn't about punishment. It's about energy, it's about patterns, and it's about power. The power to create, shift, and align your life through conscious action. So now that we understand what karma isn't, we can summarize this by saying karma simply means action. That's it, not punishment, not fate, just action. And here's where it gets powerful. Every action, every word, every thought, every emotional reaction carries energy. And energy doesn't disappear. It moves, it builds momentum, and it eventually finds its way back. Welcome to the law of cause and effect. This is the foundation of karma. What you cause will eventually have an effect, not because the universe is judging you, but because that's how energy works. You can't drop a stone into water without creating ripples. The same goes for your energy. Everything you think, feel, say, or do sends out a frequency, like a signal, and that signal attracts experiences, people, and outcomes that match that frequency. Let's break this down. If you think angry thoughts, carry resentment, and react by lashing out, you're creating a field of disturbance. So what comes back? Chaos, friction. Basically, more things to be angry about. On the flip side, you think lovingly, act kindly, and speak truthfully. You're radiating coherence and safety. And what comes back? Support, peace, and aligned opportunities. It's not random, it's not personal, and it's definitely not judgment. It's pure math, energetic math. You plant an apple seed, you'll get an apple tree. Simple, predictable, and no drama. So what happens if you plant blame? You get disempowerment. If you plant victimhood, you get more situations that confirm you're stuck. And if you plant clarity and accountability, you get progress. And finally, if you plant compassion, you get peace from the inside out. Karma doesn't ask if you're a good person. It doesn't care how many vision boards you've made or how many affirmations you chant in the mirror. And it definitely doesn't care about why you're retaliating, even if you do have a good reason. It responds to your state, it mirrors your frequency, and it delivers whatever matches the energetic equation you're currently putting out. So instead of thinking of karma like some spiritual Santa Claus keeping score, start thinking like an energetic mathematician. What energy am I putting out? What emotional states am I normalizing? And what beliefs and behaviors am I planting over and over again? Because karma isn't some woo-woo mystical mystery. It's just energetic cause and effect doing its thing like gravity. Once you get that, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what equation did I set in motion and how can I change it? And that's where your power kicks in. So here's the reframe. Karma isn't punishment. It's power. It's a feedback loop, a mirror, a reflection of the energetic code you're running, whether you're conscious of it or not. Every experience you attract is information. It's the universe saying, here's what's active in your field. Do you want to keep it or do you want to change it? If you don't like what's showing up in your relationships, your money, or your health, karma's not saying, too bad, just suffer. Instead, karma's saying, that's fine. Now, change the input. And your inputs are your thoughts, your choices, your emotional state, and your energy signature. You're not being punished. You're just running a program. And here's the beautiful part. Programs can be rewritten. So you're not stuck, you're not doomed, and you're definitely not cursed. That's just spiritual laziness dressed up as drama. Karma hands you the steering wheel and says, you are the creator here. What do you want to build next? Once you see karma as feedback instead of fate, you stop asking life to be fair and you start asking, what am I learning? What am I ready to shift? And what frequency do I want to embody now? Because here's the deal. Karma isn't trying to punish you for what you were 5 years ago. It's trying to show you who you are right now by reflecting what's still active in your field. And that reflection? It's not fixed. It's fluid. The second you shift your energy, the mirror starts shifting back. So the next time life hands you something rough, don't spiral into victim mode. Zoom out, observe the feedback, and then ask yourself the most powerful question you can. What's the next most aligned move I can make? That's the difference between suffering in a karmic loop and rising through one. So how do you generate that high vibrational and high frequency karma? Here's the thing you need to remember. Karma responds to energy, not performance. You can do all the right things on the outside, but if your energy is off or how you're actually feeling on the inside, the outcome will be too. So let's break this down properly. Practice kindness, especially when it's hard. It's easy to be nice when people are nice to you, but energetic growth doesn't come from easy. The real upgrade happens when you choose compassion in the middle of someone else's chaos without absorbing it. When you send love instead of snapping back, that's not weakness, it's energetic mastery. And that energy echoes back to you, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. Take responsibility for your energy. You can't control everything that happens, but you are 100% responsible for the frequency you operate from. If your energy is full of blame, bitterness, or victimhood, it's going to magnetize situations that confirm those feelings. If you want different results, shift the vibe, meditate, ground, clean your energy, and do the inner work. Because karma doesn't care about your excuses, it responds to your energetic state. Speak truthfully and act with integrity. That doesn't mean brutally honest. It means energetically clean. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Do what you promise. Integrity creates alignment, and alignment creates flow. When your inner world and outer actions match, karma returns with ease, clarity, and real support. Give without expecting. Giving to get is a contract. Giving from overflow is a blessing. Whether it's time, attention, help, or love, do it because you want to, not because you're waiting for payback. Energetically, expectations create attachments. Attachments create resistance, and resistance blocks flow. So keep your giving clean, with pure intention and zero strings. Uplift others, not because you should, but because when you raise others, you raise your own field. You expand your energetic range. You send a signal that says there's more than enough good to go around. That puts you in resonance with abundance, expansion, and flow. And that's some rich karma right there. And let's talk about intention, because it's the energetic engine behind everything. You can technically do all the right things, help someone, apologize, and donate money. But if you're doing it from fear, guilt, or just to look good, you're not fooling the universe. Energy doesn't lie. The vibration behind the action is what karma reads, not the performance. So check your motives. Ask yourself, is this coming from love or lack? From connection or control? Because good karma isn't about being perfect. It's about being aligned. Let's be real. Avoiding bad karma doesn't mean walking around trying to be a saint or pretending you're enlightened 24/7. That's just not realistic, and it's not the point. It isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. Every moment, every thought, every reaction is a choice point. You can either generate karma, clean karma, or burn it off through higher choices. Let's talk about the traps that most people don't even realize are generating messy, sticky, and low vibe karma. Acting out of fear, guilt, or ego. When your decisions come from fear, like fear of loss, fear of rejection, or fear of not being enough, you're not in alignment. The same goes for guilt. Guilt is heavy. It drags your energy down and turns help into obligation. And ego? Ego is the master of short-term gratification and long-term chaos. For example, if you say yes to something, but you don't actually want to do it, but you're afraid of being judged, well, that's fear. That's karmic residue. Or if you lash out to feel in control, that's ego. It's energy distortion. The action might look harmless, but the energetic intention behind it is what creates karma. Manipulating people or situations. Well, this one's tricky. You might call it influencing, nudging, or just being strategic. But if you're twisting truth or pulling strings to get what you want, even on a subtle level, it's karmically expensive. Manipulation bends energy. It might get you what you want temporarily, but it destabilizes the field. That energetic debt eventually comes back. Why? Because you've interfered with someone else's path to serve your own agenda. Ignoring your gut to please others. Your intuition is your inner compass. When you override it to avoid discomfort or to keep the peace, you're betraying your own alignment. That self-abandonment creates karma, not just because you're out of integrity with yourself, but because it reinforces a loop of disempowerment. And here's the kicker. People-pleasing might look kind, but if it's draining your soul, you're not helping anyone. You're just generating resistance. And resistance always invites karmic lessons. Blaming the world instead of owning your role. Blaming others is the fast track to stuck karma. Because as long as everything is someone else's fault, you stay powerless. And karma loves to repeat lessons until you say, okay, I see my part. I'm ready to shift it. Victim consciousness keeps the loop going. Ownership breaks the pattern. When you stop pointing fingers and start asking, what's this showing me about my own vibration? You take the power back, and that's how you dissolve karma without needing another round of the same drama. Here's the bottom line. Every moment is a fork in the road. You can either reinforce old karmic patterns or shift into new alignment. And no, you don't have to suffer to burn karma. You just have to choose better the next time. Karma doesn't demand perfection. It asks for growth. That's it. When you become more conscious of your energy, your patterns, and your intentions, you start clearing karma in real time. You don't need lifetimes to balance the scales. You just need presence, honesty, and the willingness to change. Let's go even deeper here, because karma isn't just about reacting to isolated events. It's about patterns, choices, and soul-level learning. And sometimes that learning has layers. Let's say you're in a relationship. You're not being treated with kindness, and you're not being respected. The traditional karma rulebook might say, just be kind, love them harder, and stay high vibe. But let's be real, that's spiritual bypassing in disguise. Karma isn't about being nice. It's about being aligned. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself and for the other person is to just walk away, to stop enabling, to stop repeating a loop that's keeping both of you small. That's still karma at work, because karma is just feedback, and that feedback might be saying, you've done that self-sacrificing thing in 10 lifetimes. Your lesson now is to set boundaries. Your lesson now is about self-worth. Your next level is to stop confusing being a good person with being a doormat. So no, it's not always about matching someone else's energy with kindness. It's about choosing the most conscious response, even when that means speaking hard truths, setting a firm boundary, or walking away from a situation that no longer serves your growth. Because karma doesn't care about politeness, it cares about alignment, and alignment means honoring your truth, even when it's messy, even when it breaks someone else's illusion of you, even when it makes you the bad guy in someone else's unhealed story. That's not bad karma. That's clearing karma, because guess what? Every time you choose your truth over your fear, your alignment over your approval addiction, your peace over your pattern, you're healing the root of this karmic cycle. So don't confuse spiritual growth with spiritual suppression. You don't get gold stars for staying silent, staying stuck, or staying small. Sometimes the karmic lesson isn't to forgive, it's to walk away. Sometimes it's not to fix, but to let fall. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is say no more. And that still creates good karma because it's clean, honest, and energetically empowered. So zoom out, look at the bigger picture, not just the one moment, and ask, what is this situation trying to teach me? What energy am I being invited to step into? And what cycle might I finally be ready to break? Because karma is rarely just about one choice. It's about how you grow from it. So here's the big truth that can completely shift your perspective on karma. Karma is not about punishment. It's not some cosmic enforcer waiting to dole out pain for your mistakes. Karma is about power, it's about choice, and most importantly, it's about evolution. Karma is a reflection. It shows you the energy you're putting out into the world, not to condemn you, but to wake you up to the fact that you have the ability to shift it. Every thought, every word, every action, it creates an energetic ripple, and that ripple comes back to you. That's the law of cause and effect in action. And here's the best part. You're not at the mercy of your karma. You are the creator of it. The moment you step into full awareness of this, the whole game changes. You stop being a passive observer and start becoming the active designer of your reality. You begin to realize that you're not just reacting to life's challenges, you're responding from a place of conscious choice. Each moment becomes a chance to grow, to heal, and to step more fully into your power. But here's the key. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to avoid every mistake or make every decision flawlessly. It's not about being good. It's about being aligned. It's about being honest, being authentic, and being aware. Karma isn't about getting it right every single time. It's about being true. When you can begin to break old patterns, to change your energy, to recognize your part in what's happening, that's when real transformation occurs. So the next time you face a challenge or feel triggered, remember, this isn't about being punished or stuck. This is your opportunity to choose differently, to take the feedback, learn from it, and shift your energy in a way that empowers you and uplifts others. You are not bound by your past actions. You are free to rewrite your karma right here and right now. The most powerful thing you can do is to embrace the awareness that you are the creator of your experience. You are the one holding the pen, and you have the power to write your next chapter with clarity and purpose. So no more fear of karma. Instead, partner with it, embrace the feedback, learn from it, and let it guide you toward higher levels of alignment, abundance, and peace. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring content. Until the next time, take care, stay aligned, and always stay inspired.